State Capitol buildings are some of the country's most interesting structures because they serve as a physical representation of their respective state's unique spirit and heritage. In this video, I rank the nation's top 10 state capitol buildings primarily based off of their exterior appearance, but I also factor in their geographic context. I spent way too long thinking through this admittedly very subjective ranking, so let's get to it. Starting off my list at number 10 is the tallest state capitol to crack the top 10, and that's Nebraska. Nebraska certainly has one of the most unique looking capitol buildings in the country. Its architect, Bertram Goodhue, said that Nebraska is a level country and its capital should have some altitude or beacon effect. It's topped with a gold-tiled dome and a 19-foot tall statue called the Sower at the top. I think it's a beautiful building and worthy of the 10th spot on this list. Next at number 9 is Wisconsin State Capitol. At first glance, it may look like a run-of-the-mill domed state capitol building, however, it's laid out in a unique X-shaped design, which I like. What really propels the Wisconsin State Capitol to the 9th spot on my list, though, is its location. Madison itself is a beautiful city located on a narrow isthmus between two large lakes, and the state capitol sits on the top of the hill at the very center of the city. When you're in Madison, your attention is drawn to the state capitol from every direction. Next on my list is Utah's state capitol building. Architecturally, what I like about Utah's capitol building are the columns that wrap around nearly the entire perimeter of the building. Utah's state capitol also benefits from its incredible location on a hill overlooking downtown Salt Lake City. It gives the Capitol building a really dramatic appearance when taking in the whole cityscape. My 7th favorite Capitol building is the largest in the country, and that's the Texas State Capitol. On top of it being the largest, which is very on brand for Texas, the Capitol building is immediately recognizable due to its reddish granite facade. The building also has an exposed underground area, which is unique. In 2007, it was ranked by the American Institute of Architects as the 92nd favorite building in the country, one of only 2 state capitol buildings to even make the top 100. In the 6th spot on this list, I have West Virginia State Capitol. This is another state capitol building situated in a beautiful location. However, the reason it's this high on my list is primarily because of its dome. West Virginia State Capitol may have the most distinguished dome in the country, with its detailed golden facade giving it the appearance of a crown sitting atop the building. The architect of the building was Cass Gilbert, who designed one of my favorite skyscrapers in the world, the Woolworth Tower in New York City, as well as the U.S. Supreme Court building. Gilbert also designed the state capitol for his home state, which is a little higher on this list. Next up is the capital of the Empire State in Albany, New York. There truly isn't another state capitol building that looks like New York's, with its Romanesque architectural style. The building was originally going to have a central tower, which in my opinion would have made it the best looking state capitol in the country. My 4th favorite state capitol building is the Capitol of Illinois. I love the look of this capitol building in large part because of how massive its central tower is. If you've seen many of my other videos, you'll know that I appreciate tall buildings, and the Illinois State Capitol is the tallest state capitol that still maintains a classical design. At 361 feet tall, it's 83 feet taller than the Capitol building in DC. I may be a little biased, but I think the 3rd best looking state capitol building in the country is the capital of my current home of Minnesota. Its white marble exterior gives it a bright and unique look. It's the state capitol I'd alluded to earlier that was also designed by Cass Gilbert, who was from Minnesota. Its dome is the 2nd largest self-supported marble dome in the world, only trailing St. Peter's Basilica. In front of the dome is the Golden Quadriga sculpture, which is one of the most impressive sculptures to adorn a capitol building in the country. As much as I love the Minnesota State Capitol, I have to admit that I think Minnesota's neighbor to the south has a slightly better looking one. Iowa's State Capitol building is breathtaking, with its 5 domes, including its large central golden dome. We drove past it several months ago, and my 5-year-old daughter thought that it was the palace of a princess. It's just a stunning building that also has the benefit of being located on a hill overlooking Des Moines. Before I get to my number 1 state capitol building, I'll highlight a few honorable mentions that didn't quite make the list. Some of the state capitol buildings that didn't make the final top 10 include Rhode Island State Capitol, Pennsylvania State Capitol, California State Capitol, and the State Capitol of Kansas. And finally, in my opinion, the best looking state capitol building in the country is the Capitol of Connecticut. Putting Connecticut's capital in the #1 spot was the easiest decision to make when putting this ranking together. It's designed in the Second Empire architectural style, which is the same architectural style of perhaps my single favorite building in the country, Philadelphia's City Hall. Well, that wraps up my state capital rankings video. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching.